My name is Perpetual, and you're listening to the Invisible Hand Podcast. The world's ran by human nature, self-interest, and power. Let's get into it.
Perpetual, the Invisible Hand Podcast. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about energy and how energy is the future of humanity. Energy is the final frontier. And energy is not only the solution to most of the world's problems, but it's also the solution to most of human interaction problems in the world. And I'm going to break down why energy is so important and how the majority of the ills and challenges and wars and bickering and racism and classism and government, Democrat and Republican, all of this stuff exists because of energy. It exists because of lack of resources or the unfair distribution of resources. And if we can solve energy or create abundance of energy or a super low cost industry or unlimited energy, you will fundamentally transmute what it is to even be a human being. You would fundamentally restructure society in every way imaginable. I want you to think about this. So we're going to do a thought experiment. I want you to first understand how energy is basically the fundamental structure of modern society. Not only of modern society, but it's fundamental to our evolution. Think about this. What is the most fundamental form of energy outside of the planetary system, the wind blowing, etc.? It's a human being ingesting food for energy, moving its faculties, and doing work. Energy is the ability to do work. The most important form of energy currently on the planet is oil. Countries go to war for oil. People die for oil. Millions of people are killed for oil. Why? Because oil has essentially allowed us to build the modern society we're in today. And here's why. When you drive your car, that's powered by oil. When you come in your house, that's powered by oil. The wood that they build your house with is also the power source of the power tools like electricity that comes from coal and oil. That run those power tools allow them to cut that wood to build that house. When you turn on your lights, that electricity from that coal comes from oil and coal. Everything you do comes in the modern world is basically a product of oil. When you eat food and go to the store from the supermarket, that food has oil in it. The machines that help produce that food uses oil to essentially create power. Every single thing in your life, from the clothing to the cuts, everything is ran by oil. Now, why is that important? And I think that why are the human race as a society, bickering over who gets what and how much, Democrat, Republican, poor, rich, black, white, US, Saudi Arabia, all of the things you see in the world today are basically human beings bickering over who gets what, who has access to resources. But here's the thing, the current resources we have on the planet, if we solve for energy, will be unlimited. Imagine if the entire planet decided to put solar panels up everywhere in the world right now. Think about that energy would basically give us unlimited amount of energy to the point of cost of zero. Now, I don't think people really understand that not only will it solve most resource problems in the world, it would solve most social and human interaction problems in the world. Think about it. Why does somebody commit crime? Really? People commit crime most of the time to obtain resources, money. What are they gonna do with that money? They're gonna buy food, they're gonna buy shelter, they're gonna buy things to entertain themselves. How do the average person who lives in society get those things? Well, they take a job. and then they basically trade their time for money. They usually use their physical body to do work, and they earn that money so they can pay their bills to have shelter, for they can buy food to eat every day. So fundamentally, we do work in order to have the basic necessities to sustain ourselves and stay alive. However, if we had unlimited energy, we wouldn't have to do that work. Because imagine if the entire planet decided today to put up solar panels and now we have unlimited energy. That means that the majority of the work that you do every day, we can just use machines to do it, and there'll be no additional cost to run those machines all day, every day, because we have unlimited energy. All of a sudden, we have just fundamentally transmuted what it means to be human. Everybody on the planet no longer needs to do traditional manual work anymore. Now we can spend all of our time educating the entire planet on machines, automation, artificial intelligence, where now we're spending our time programming things for machines to do for us. Now think about this. If you have unlimited energy, you don't have food insecurity anymore, because that means that we can set up basically giant agriculture infrastructure that's controlled and manned and produced by machines. So it'll be unlimited amount of food. Now nobody ever be hungry again. If we have unlimited energy, think about this. I want you to really think about this. We can produce unlimited amount of homes. Everybody on the planet can have a house or apartment, and they can have lights, and they don't have to pay anything because we have unlimited energy. You see, our entire modern life, the reason we wake up to earn money, the reason we have jobs, is simply to do work to get access to resources. But with unlimited energy, there's no reason to do any of that work, because with unlimited energy, everybody can have a modern life without ever lifting a finger, because the electricity, the energy does the work for you, and we have a sun that will be burning for billions of years. And we can do this right now. The entire planet, you have the Middle East fighting with the Western powers, you have Russia with thousands of nukes. Why? All of these countries exist in order to allocate resources for their people, for they can go into houses and turn on lights and eat food whenever they want. And as a planet, as a citizen of the planet, we as a planet, every country in the world could technically start to harness geothermal energy. They could have a Manhattan-style project where they solve fusion and create unlimited energy. And if they don't want to do that, they could just put windmills up and solar panels up everywhere over the entire planet. And literally the entire planet could run nonstop. From there, our entire planet can spend our time automating every single task known to man and have machines doing it. And now you have basically made the entire world rich, whether you're in Africa, the Middle East. Everybody will have food, everybody will have housing, everybody will have lights. You can run cars as long as you want. And now we can evolve past spending our time doing pointless work just to eat food and start to evolve our minds, our consciousness, and our technology, and even move to other planets, all because of energy. Yet, in the USA, we spend more money on military every year than we invest in actual solving for energy. The entire planet spends more time bickering and fighting over resources when we have energy sources here right now that can fundamentally transmute what it means to be human. And unfortunately, why is it not getting done? It's not getting done not because of governments, not because of the powers that be, not because some shadow government, not because of Russia, not because of Saudi Arabia, not because of the Clintons, not because of the Bushes. It's not getting done because of you, everyday citizens, everyday people, whether you're in Africa, Saudi Arabia, America, Houston, California, the guy picking up trash, the guy at his corporate job on his computer. It's because of you. Because none of these people have the power. You as a everyday regular person, regular citizen, have the power to demand we do these things, and yet we never do it. Why? Because it's in our nature to have fear and want to survive first. You see, when you wake up every day, you think, man, I have to pay my bills. Man, I want this type of pleasure. Man, I want to be perceived better than my neighbor. It is your own innate selfishness and your fear that it's not enough that drives you to run to that job to secure your future. Instead of saying, hey, we can transmute what it is to even live on this planet today. If people, everyday people, stand up and force their governments, force their countries, force the world to say, hey, let's transform our planet. Let's all focus on the one thing that will solve all problems across the board like any other problem. Most of the social problems, most of the greed, most of the crime, most of the criminals, most of the social class, most of the racism is based on one group trying to have more access to resources than the other, when we're on a planet that has unlimited resources where we all could be better off. But until the consciousness of everyday individuals all around the world start to understand what life can truly be like if we all forced every world government on the planet to say, hey, the answer to all of our problems is energy. It's energy. It's unlimited energy means unlimited work, and unlimited work that doesn't have to be done physically by human beings. It solves all of the problems. And so what I want you to take away from this video today is I want you to really think about why you're actually working. I want you to really think about this, because what you realize is, especially in the Western world, that your entire identity is tied up around irrelevant things that never needs to happen. I'll give you an example. Take a lawyer. A lawyer might be some kid who goes to law school, and then he goes get his JD, and he's practicing law after 8 to 10 years of study. Now, in his mind, I'm a lawyer, I enforce the law. Why is the law getting enforced? Well, the law is getting enforced to regulate human behavior and regulate fairness in business and regulate fairness in human interaction. But what if I told you that most of those things that the law is regulating, and the whole reason you're a lawyer, is because of access to resources? If there was unlimited food, unlimited shelter, unlimited energy, people wouldn't have to steal. People wouldn't have to go to work. People wouldn't have to be greedy, because there'll be no reason to be greedy. Everybody has a house. They can run electricity as long as they want forever. They don't have to work because you have machines that are automated producing food 24/7, to the point where there's so much food that you never, ever, ever have to work. And so if none of those problems exist in society, human beings don't have to work, they don't have to compete for resources, then there's no need for a lawyer. Take a bus driver who drives people around. He wakes up every day, he spent his whole life driving buses, his identity is buses. If unlimited energy, there'll be no reason not to just make a whole bunch of self-driving cars that could drive anybody around any day. Why would a bus driver spend his time driving somebody around when a machine can do it? And so if you think about it, unlimited energy basically frees human beings up to just do whatever they want. Now we can start developing our minds, we can start solving problems, we can start working on cancer treatments and things that allow us to extend our lives. We can start to elevate our knowledge in science, where we can start maybe terraforming other planets. The future of mankind is energy. If you want to work on one thing in your life that will transform human beings, the most important thing on the planet is energy. Because it's the thing that will allow human beings to amplify their existence. Just like a computer amplify our intelligence because it can do calculations that the normal brain can't do at scales that we could never do, energy can build things at scales we could never do. Energy can do work nonstop forever at scales we could never do. It will fundamentally change what it means to be human beings. It is the most important thing on the planet we could be doing in the modern 2000. This is the future of mankind, and it's called energy. So if you're somebody who want to know what to do with your life, if you're somebody who's saying, hey, what is the most important thing in the world that can solve the most problems simultaneously? It's unlimited energy. Invisible Hand Podcast. I'm out.
The future of legal betting is finally here. Place a bet using Bitcoin right over the phone. Unlike traditional gambling sites, every bet you make with us is guaranteed a 50% probability of winning. All of our bets are one-on-one against a real person and never the house. We offer some of the most unique bets in the industry. Bets like, will LeBron James win his 5th NBA title? Will Joe Biden be elected for a second term? Will Tesla be worth $1 trillion by the end of 2022? You can bet on if it'll rain tomorrow. You can literally bet on any future event. Text the phrase I bet to the number in the description and I'll reply back with all of our available bets. Again, text the phrase I bet to the number in the description and I'll reply back with all of our available bets today.